Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day in order to help me along with today's adventure. Now, for this adventure, you will notice that we are once again here in Studio B, meaning one of my Mac Pros. This is going to be once again the 2010 5.1 Mac Pro. And the reason for that is that Apple has recently released macOS Big Sur 11.4, and we're going to try upgrading to it. Now, spoiler alert, it's been out for a little bit now. The problems have not at this point gone away, but that's not going to stop me from doing the upgrade and finding out for myself. So you're interested in coming along with that and seeing what the process is and what actually happens? Please stay tuned. Well, here we are on the desktop. And we are running macOS Big Sur 11.3.1 on my mid-2010 Mac Pro, the test unit, of course. And it is running on the Western Digital SSD, which is an NVMe drive on a PCIe controller card. All right. That's the drive right there. I also have connected the Western Digital. This is a Western Digital Blue 1 terabyte drive that has got Mojave on it, just in case. Now the Plex Store drive, for full disclosure, not only have I updated all of my compatible Macs with 11.4, I did take virtually the same installation that we have here on a 2.5 inch SATA hard drive connected in one of the hard drive bays. That did update. And we have the install macOS Big Sur. Right now, that's where OpenCore resides. So none of this is possible unless that's plugged in. Alright, now one of the cool things about OpenCore, as opposed to your standard patcher version, when a new version comes out, it just appears right here, just like this was normal. What isn't normal is what you have to go through to get the install to finish, which hopefully we'll be seeing today. And then the problems of booting the machine up. I imagine that we'll be seeing that before the end of this video. Now, once I click Update Now, it'll take 15 to 20 minutes to download, maybe less. It depends very much on exactly how many people are trying to download it at the same time. And then it'll take 15-20 minutes to prepare to actually get that done. Now, I'll do that off camera, and hopefully we're going to see some of the process of the installation. It's a little awkward in that I have a dual monitor setup here, and of course the boot screen keeps moving from one monitor to the other. But anyhow, that's the plan for today, and we should end up with a working installation of 11.4 with the problems mentioned before of getting the machine to boot up. Alright, so I'm going to end this recording now, click the button, and then we'll be off on our adventure. Stay tuned. Okay, we've restarted, and now the screen's gone black. Entering power save mode. Hopefully something will come on the screen again. I do know that periodically I have to force the machine down and start it up again to get into the installer, but we're going to give it a bit of time. Stay tuned. I should have looked carefully. we've moved over to the other screen. It rebooted itself. We saw the OpenCore boot manager, and it auto started itself back into the installer. Now, this is a common point where it stalls. And that, yeah, I was so busy, making, recording clips there that I didn't get a chance to start verbose mode. I tend to think it's stalled now, but I'm going to give it a minute to stay tuned. Aha! Operation prohibited. Now, yeah, this I believe happened as well too. So we're going to power it off. All right, and power it back on. And I've got Command V held down, so hopefully we will get into verbose mode to get a better idea of what's happening. It takes a while to get to the chime on these machines. There we go. And we should get the OpenCore boot manager momentarily. There we go. Now, I don't know why it says Macintosh HD there. I had a drive called Macintosh HD. I took it out because DriveDX was saying it's pre-fail. But that actually should be the installer. And you notice also there's 2 entries for WD-SSD. Why, I'm not sure. Okay, so here we are in verbose mode. Now, this is the first place that it will tend to freeze. As I understand it, these last 2 lines here are the initialization of the Ethernet, built-in Ethernet. I don't think it's the Ethernet really that's failing, although, I mean, what do I know really? I suspect it's USB initialization, which comes immediately after this. So, hang with me a sec. I'll power it down again. And reboot it again. And once again, waiting for the chime. I still have Command V held down. It's a lot easier to tell when it's frozen in verbose mode. Okay? And we should be getting the same bootloader screen. All right. Now, if I were to select the WD SSD, it would just boot back into 11.3.1. Okay, this is going to boot. That's pretty good. Booting on the second time. Of course, as I said, we're booting into the installer now. All right. Yeah, you can't actually read any of this stuff. Okay, this whole process is going to take quite a while, so I'm going to spare you this. Stay tuned, though. Okay, so the screen has gone black again. Hopefully we'll see something. It was moving along pretty well. A lot of OpenCore stuff going on the display. But I am hoping we'll... Okay. Rebooting. And here we go. And I can get a chance that time too. Okay, it's making progress. All right. So I assume the installation is progressing here. Stay tuned. Okay, it's frozen. So let's try this again and get back into verbose mode. Okay. Should be there momentarily. Oh, how interesting. Booting to the SSD. And this... Yeah, we're in the USB initialization. So make sure. Yeah, I have my USB 3 hub unplugged. Yep, so it's stuck on USB initialization. The advice often given is to unplug all hubs. Now the thing is, I'm using an Apple Cinema display. I did unplug the USB hub built into that. I tried using a generic PC USB keyboard rather than this Apple keyboard, which has a USB hub built into it, but it was just working so poorly. So well, maybe I'll try to come up with another alternative from somewhere. Okay, try number 2. This looks more promising. Okay, good. Yeah, it will slow down from time to time, but yeah, this should be booting. Okay. Yeah, I sure wish verbose mode had continued on. It's hard to tell whether it's... Nope, there we go. I'm glad I'm patient. Okay, this should boot. At least, I hope it will. Well, okay, I'll take pity on you. Stay tuned. Okay, you missed it. I wasn't quick enough. It just popped very quickly into verbose mode. And then back. Now, it's got to be doing something. The Dell monitor has gone into energy saver mode. The machine's still on. Okay. Times here where you just have to be patient. Will this be the final boot? It's moving. Okay. Now what? It's moved over to the other monitor. Now it's on the cinema display. This should boot up. About 10 minutes remaining. Okay. I shall take pity on you. Stay tuned. Okay, about a minute remaining. Who knows how long that's going to be. Progress meter has a ways to go there. It won't stall here. I'm sure it won't. Okay then, stay tuned. Less than a minute remaining. And that was just seconds after I ended the previous clip. And here we are. Your Mac is up to date. 11.4 Big Sur. Yep, 11.4 WD SSD. It's here. Okay, so I'm going to have some cleanup work to do. We'll come back with some final thoughts in just a bit. Stay tuned. The final thoughts clip. This is my second attempt at recording this. The first time I discovered that the microphone was not enabled, so I went to edit the video, got through the whole darn thing, and no sound. Hopefully this will be better, and I shall check this carefully. Alright, now looking at about this Mac. 11.4, as we saw earlier, on the WD SSD, the NVMe drive on the PCI E. And there it is, the NVM Express controller. Alright. So, I mean, I've been spending some time with it. I actually started editing the video until I realized we had a problem. Done a number of other things. Big Sur is behaving very, very, very well. It's very smooth. And I almost hate to say this one. I have, in testing and working with it, restarted about 6 times. 5 of them were clean boots. The only time that failed was when I had left the USB 3 hub plugged into the USB 3 PCIe card. Other than that, it just booted up every time, which, I don't know, it's almost frustrating. It makes you wonder, maybe you can just live with this. I don't know, there's a lot to be told, and I commend the Mac Rumors forum thread to see what's going on. They are currently working with it. There's been no real positive news as of yet. Hopefully they will solve it, because there's an awful lot of potential here. I would dearly love to see Big Sur really working on these Mac Pros. Now, there's some funny things. The 2008 Mac Pro evidently boots up into it with the OpenCore Legacy Patcher with no problem at all, which has caused a great deal of consternation. So I suppose we'll be seeing that later on in the 2008 series. Uh, but anyhow, here we are. We've got 11.4 up and running. Uh, Updating it right out of the OS worked, not easily. So hopefully something can be done. Now, do I recommend this? No, I don't. Remember, this is my third 5.1 Mac Pro. This is one that I can just hack around with, and if it blows up, I would be very sad. But if it did, it would not be a huge loss, and I wouldn't be losing any crucial data. Now, that's not likely to happen. The worst case scenario is if it all falls apart, you boot back into Mojave, start over again, get Catalina back up and running, and all is well. All right, now what else? A little problem with screen recording. It took me a while before I could get the screen recordings to save, but that's working fine now. Finally kicked me into taking a look at some other possibilities as to options for screen recording. We'll see what becomes of that. Oh, now what else? Nothing much else. Okay, so I think we're probably ready to wrap up this video. Be good to other people. Other people really need it and deserve it. Be good to yourselves. Everything has to start from our being good to ourselves. And I think too many people are not. We can make this world a better place. It is not yet. So please, please take very, very good and careful care. There'll be further videos on this machine. Certainly when 11.5 comes out, that's already in beta testing, as we continue with the upgrade saga. And if anything comes to pass to straighten out the issues that we're seeing, we'll certainly do this. Don't install Big Sur past 11.2.3 on anything like a mission critical machine. You could have a big problem. Maybe you won't. So far I'm making it. So we'll have those videos on this. I'm going to get back starting tomorrow on the 2008 series. I've got just a whole bunch of various G4 things that I want to get out there, and a little bit with the Power Mac G5s as well. So until all of those things are up and available on the channel, this has been Broken Electronics.